Afternoon to everybody. Welcome inside Hastings Stadium. This is another edition of Royals TV. Mark Perry here in the broadcast booth. The front half of a home and home between these Highway 7 rivals. The Kitchener Panthers in town to take on the Guelph Royals. 24 degrees, beautiful sunshine, great condition for some baseball here today. The Kitchener Panthers coming off a loss last night against the Hamilton Cardinals as they look to rebound and get on the right foot. The Panthers, losers of 2 straight games, 3-5 on this regular season. The Guelph Royals 4-4 on the year. They have lost 2 straight contests. They lost the first 2 games of the season, won 4 straight games, but since then losing 2 straight contests as we get ready for today's matchup between these 2 teams. As we'll get a little bit of a look. Some familiar faces on opposite sides. Some new faces altogether here in the lineup today. For the Kitchener Panthers, Ayad Ansari, a Pakistani national team member, will be in the lineup making his IBL debut for the Kitchener Panthers today. Usually works as a catcher. He's actually out in right field today. For the London Majors. I've done too many broadcasts in too many ballparks, folks. Liam Wilson will start against his former side as he will be batting cleanup for the Guelph Royals. Pete Kiefer and Dina Ramel with the 3 umpires. As it'll be Ryan Herron getting the assignment, calling the balls and strikes. Chris Marco is working first base. Daniel Newell will be working third here today as we're going to get a ceremonial first pitch here as it is Guelph Minor Baseball Day here inside the ballpark. We're going to take a quick 30-second break. Got some catching up to do here inside the broadcast booth. We'll be back after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Royals TV. As the starting lineup for the Guelph Royals being introduced here inside Hastings Stadium. Again, a Battle of Highway, 7 rivals with the Kitchener Panthers in town wearing their alternate blue jerseys here today. Usually you see their cream jerseys at home, their black jerseys on the road. They're playing a 3-3 this weekend, folks. They played last night, as mentioned before, in Hamilton. And for the Kitchener Panthers, having to play tomorrow afternoon against these same Royals at Jack Couch Park. Helps a little bit with the laundry situation, to say the very least. Losing 6-4 last night to London. They had a game rained out on Thursday against those same Hamilton Cardinals. And in last night's game in Hamilton, they were down 5-1 at one point. Started to catch up, had 3 runs in the 7th inning, but just could not get the job done against the Cardinals, who turned to Fernando Rodney. He got his first home save in his IBL career. Well, from a Major League legend to the defending IBL Pitcher of the Year, they will have to take on Jacob Cush here today. Cush making his 4th start of the season, coming in with a 1.80 ERA. He's 1-1 on the year. His last start came against London in that 5-0 victory back on May 31st. Went 7 innings of shutout baseball in that one, gave up the 5 hits, only walked 1, and struck out 6, facing 30 batters. A bit of an increase in the workload that we have seen from him so far this year. Let's see if he will go a full 7 innings and perhaps even longer, as Dino Ramel starts to increase the workload on his ace, the Guelph native, here today. Yosuke Fuji is the batter for the Kitchener Panthers to start things off. He has really cemented himself in that leadoff spot. Hit a home run in last night's game, got the party started for the Panthers. First pitch in for strike number 1, and we are underway at 1:05 Eastern. Glad to have you aboard. Cush, the delivery, and that one set up high, deep into right field. It's got the distance, and that one's going to leave the ballpark. Yosuke Fuji goes back-to-back leadoff home runs yesterday and today, and the Kitchener Panthers have taken a 1-0 lead. Turns on the second pitch of the day. Yosuke Fuji, he went 3 for 5 last night, including that dinger. And he just continues to be red hot for the Kitchener Panthers. That one goes under the knees for ball 1 on Jordan Mandalay. For Fuji, hitting .450 on the season. That was already his 5th home run of the season. And Mandalay is up there as well, hitting .345 on the year. Has just the 1 homer. Cush deals the 2-0, and that one just misses under the knees. Hitters count here for the shortstop from Cuba. Does he get the green light, as that one's going to miss way outside? And we'll get ball number 4. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for those Kitchener Panthers for today, taking on Jacob Cush, Yosuke Fuji, Jordan Mandalay, Yasvani Penalve, who was up to bat here now. Junior Ibarra, who's been swinging a hot bat as well lately, is in the cleanup spot. Charlie Towers, the former Toronto Maple Leaf. Cabral, Kairos, Kawara, the former Guelph Royal, getting the start here in his former ballpark. And as mentioned off the top, Ayad Ansari is in the 9-hole, making his IBL debut here today. Penalve hitting .429 on the season. 12 for 28. The runner thought about going. He'll just return back to first base as the former Panther Liam Wilson holds him on. Cush deals. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Cush gets the swing and strikeout for out number one. And that'll bring up Junior Ibarra, who, as mentioned before, starting to pick things up, hitting .290 on the season. He's on a 3-game hitting streak. Went 2 for 5 last night with a double and a pair of RBI. And that's going to go right across for strike number one. The runner's going to go. The delivery. Throw to second base. Well, not in time as Mandalay gets in with a stolen base very easily. He had a really good jump on that pitch. Knew that he was delivering to the plate. And he just took off all the way down to second base. Now a runner in scoring position. Check over to second. The delivery. That one's going to get right over the glove into center field. The wave to home, and standing up safely, getting in there is Jordan Mandalay. And the Panthers have opened up a 2-0 lead here in the first. Ibarra will be credited with the single. Let's take a look at that defense for the Guelph Royals here today. Ashton Patterson, J.D. Williams, Ethan Hammond working from left to right. Garrett Takamatsu, Brando LaRue coming in. Mark Nellis at second base. Liam Wilson at first. And Matthew Ward catching the balls and strikes in behind home plate here today. Charlie Towers up to bat here now. That one misses down low for ball one. Towers hitting just .172 on the season. 5 for 29. He's gotten into the 8 games for the Panthers. There's a big swing and a miss for strike one. 9th game of the season for Kitchener. Just 1 for his last 12 is Towers. Puts that one over to second. Nellis fields it over to first in time. They'll get the out, but that'll advance Junior over to third. That'll bring up Jamie Cabral in his first full season here with the Panthers. Cabral is a Vaughan native. Played with the Maple Leafs for 5 games last year. A lot of space in between the second baseman and the shortstop as LaRue and Nellis work at traditional depth just at the edge of the grass. The 1-0 misses inside. 2-0. Cabral does pop a lot of power. He was the leader for the TMU Bold this past season, both in home runs, stolen bases. Also had a great OPS, as that one's going to go across for a swinging strike. Played junior baseball for High Park, stole 43 bases in 30 games for them. Down low, 3-1. Nico Kairos is on deck if Cabral gets on. Again, if you just missed it, it is 2-0 Kitchener, a home run from Fuji and an RBI single from Junior Ibarra. The 3-1. And that one just misses. Jamie Cabral will take a base. That puts runners on the corners here for Nico Kairos. And this is that adjustment that you have to make, as you're starting to see what that strike zone looks like from Ryan Herron. Kairos, the Kingston native. The runner's going to go. Throw into second base. Sliding in safely is Jamie Cabral, as Pete Kiefer has really gotten these guys to play aggressive on the base path. That is 2 stolen bases already this inning. The 0-1 upstairs, missing. Kairos is a pitcher as well, so he gets to work as a utility player. He's a DH. You might see him pitch today. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. The payoff pitch incoming here from Jacob Cush. 23 pitches in to this inning. Number 24, squibbed off the foot, fielded over to first in time. Count that as a 1-3 putout, and the Royals get out of the inning, but not before some damage done, as the Kitchener Panthers have taken a 2-0 lead. We'll go to break. When we come back, we'll have the bottom of the first. Stay with us. This is Royals TV. Welcome back to Royals TV as J.D. Williams steps into the batter's box to lead things off for the Guelph Royals. Pair of hits, a pair of runs for the Kitchener Panthers in the away half of the inning. And Evan Elliott is going to clunk J.D. on the first pitch delivered. Looked like that one got away from Evan Elliott. And before we can even get started, J.D. hitting .355 on the year is going to get the free pass down the first base. And it looks like he's going to have a visit here from the trainer just to make sure he's all right. Got him in the forearm. As we're going to take a look quickly while we have some time at the Royals lineup here for today. J.D. Williams, Brando LaRue coming into the lineup here today, as LaRue will make his season debut. Garrett Takamatsu, the third baseman. Liam Wilson batting cleanup. Matthew Ward is the catcher. Ethan Hammond, Mark Nellis, The veteran Jeff McLeod batting DH, and Ashton Patterson taking his usual spot over in left field. As here comes Brando LaRue into the lineup, well inside for ball number 1. LaRue playing for the Florida Atlantic Owls back in the spring of 2024. That one's going to be a strike, as the fans share their displeasure on that call. Evan Elliott, the delivery. Right over to second base. Towers over for 1, over for not in time. And JD gets on base, or rather Brando LaRue gets on base with the fielder's choice. Let's take a look at that defense for the Kitchener Panthers here today, as Jamie Cabral working out in left field, Yasvani Penalve in center, and Sari is over in right, making his IBL debut. Fuji, Mandalay, Towers, and Kawara, the infield, and Junior Ibarra taking his usual spot in behind home plate. The delivery inside, and we're seeing this a lot from Elliott, where he is working a lot more toward the inside of the batter, just trying to perhaps get a pitch in on the hands and take away some of the power that this Royals lineup can muster, as the runner's going to go down to second base. Brando LaRue will get in safely. He was already there. Junior couldn't handle it. So that will be a stolen base for Brando. Just like that, runner in scoring position here for the Royals in the home half of the inning. Swing and a miss. And that is strike number 3. A swinging strikeout for Evan Elliott. That'll bring up Liam Wilson, who has had a lot of power in his day with the Kitchener Panthers. This will be a weird look for Panthers fans, so used to seeing Wilson playing for Kitchener over the last several seasons. Took last year off, now playing for the Royals. Evan Elliott making his 3rd start of the season, an even 6 ERA. He's pitched in 9 innings so far this year. Liam just hitting .259 on the year. They're going to call the balk, as Evan Elliott was thinking about throwing over to second base, but the umpires, Johnny on the spot there to allow Brando to move over to third. Now he's just got to concentrate on the batter here, Liam Wilson. And that one is going to go right at the knees for a strike. Wilson on a 4-game hitting streak. Started the season in a bit of a slump, around 1 for 12 to start the year, but he's really picking things up as the calendar has turned to June. That one's well inside for a ball. Part of this 4-game stretch, went 3 for 4 against Chatham-Kent in that 4-2 defeat on June 3rd. Last game was in Toronto on the 6th last night. A 14-11 defeat to the Maple Leafs. As the fans try to get their first baseman going. A 2-1 count here on Liam. Inside yet again, 3-1. Liam with a good eye on that one, keeping away. As again, Evan Elliott working to try to take away the power from these Royals hitters. Here comes the 3-1. Inside yet again, ball 4. Puts runners on the corners with 2 away. So here comes Matthew Ward, hitting .381 on the season. Went 2 for 3 last night with 4 RBI. And I got to tell you, folks, that was quite the game last night. It was 4-0 Toronto. Guelph scoring 6 in the second inning to take a 6-4 lead. Toronto caught up in the bottom half of that inning. It was 6-6 through 2 innings. A wild game at Christie Pitts just less than 24 hours ago. And Ward, he's been doing some damage. 9th game of the year. He has hits in 7 of his 8 appearances in 2025. And that one's going to go right at belt level for a strike. Elliott getting the sign, runners on the corners. Down at the knees for a strike. Ward kept an eye on it, but it's good location there from Evan Elliott as he switches up his location on that pitch. Setting up outside. That one's put into right field. And Sari gets underneath it, and he'll make the catch. That'll end the inning. A pair of runners stranded for the Royals. It is 2-0 Kitchener heading to the second inning. Stay with us. We are live at Hastings Stadium. This is Royals TV. Welcome back to Royals TV. Mark Perry here with you. By the way, folks, fill up the chat. I'm the one calling the game alone here today. I don't have a color commentator with myself today. Start the conversation through the chat, and maybe we'll answer some questions as this broadcast moves along. And while you're at it, tell us where you're watching from. We love to hear from you and where you are tuning in around the world here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Maybe it's beautiful where you are. Maybe it's a rainy day where you are. Either way, we love having you here today. Former Royal Arthur Kawara in the batter's box as Kitchener sent 7 to the dish in the first inning. Cush needed 24 pitches to get out of the inning and gave up 2 runs to the Panthers. Out-of-town scoreboard, well, there is nothing else happening in the IBL right now. A pair of evening games in Welland and Chatham-Kent later on, as Kawara is going to foul that one back. And yes, Neil, I might need a little bit of company in here. You can be here in about 5 minutes, can't you? London at Welland at 6:05 tonight. Toronto at Chatham-Kent at 7:05. So again, 6:05 and 7:05 first pitches respectively, as Ward will have to grab that one. It was indeed a wild game, a wild bunch of games last night. Chopper over to Takamatsu. Tack over to first in time to record the out. Neil, of course, doing a great job working with the league and getting all of the clips going, getting that social media presence pumped up quite a bit. There was a perfect game attempt in last night's game. You had, of course, Fernando Rodney with his first home save. First time he showed the bow and arrow pose at Bernie Arbor Stadium. There's a swing and a miss for a strike. Well, here's Ayad Ansari, the IBL debut of the Stony Creek native. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Ansari, as mentioned before, part of the Pakistani national team. Just finishing up his sophomore season with Erie Community College. Chopper down the line, foul. Previously played with Pensacola State. And with Erie this past year, went 30 games. That's an NJCAA Division III team. Hit .341 for Erie in the spring. A 1-2 count on Ansari, is wearing number 19. The 1-2. Missing outside. Fans getting on the case of Ryan Herron on that last one. It is Fergie Jenkins night in Chatham-Kent. Thank you, Dan, for pointing that one out. Imagine that Fergie Jenkins will make an appearance in that broadcast booth tonight. And that one's going to miss as well. Full count on Ansari. 2 straight pitches from Cush, just missing on the outside. And that one will go into the dirt for ball 4. First at-bat for Ansari doesn't turn into an at-bat as he gets issued the free pass over to first. So Yosuke Fuji now stepping into the batter's box, hit his 5th home run of the season, his last time up, as he takes sole spot of the IBL lead. Robert Mullen and Fuji tied with 4 home runs coming into the day. Also want to say congratulations to those getting inducted into the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame in St. Mary's this afternoon. Fergie definitely has a busy day today, Neil, that's for sure. Cap it off in the ballpark with his namesake on it. The 0-1, Fuji lines that one deep into center field. That one's going to go off the wall. Circling around to second base, and Fuji will get in there standing up. He's 2 for 2 with a home run and a double. Two runners in scoring position with just the one away here for the Kitchener Panthers as their bats start to heat up here on a Saturday afternoon. Cush looking to just get settled back in. Jordan Mandalay walked and scored. Also got a stolen base back in the first inning, as that one misses outside for ball one. Ryan Herron, the home plate umpire. Chris Marco, the first base umpire, working out at second base right now, and Danny Newell's over at third. Chopper, LaRue fields it over to first in time. They'll get the out. But coming in to score is Ansari. He gets his first career IBL run to make it 3-0 Kitchener. So mark that one down as a 6-3 putout. So Yosvani Penalve, swinging strikeout his last time up. Down low under the knees. Coming into today, Penalve hitting .429 on the year. That is second in the IBL coming into today. Gio Morello of the Welland Jackfish hitting .440 on the season, leading the way in the league. Swing and a miss. Penalve in the top within the top 10, I should say, with 12. Throw over to third base, not in time. They tried that backdoor play with Ward. What I was going to say is Penalve is within the top 10 in the IBL with 12 hits coming into today. Good awareness by Fuji over at third as he kept an eye on Takamatsu, not really near third base at this point, but they like that play from the back door. See if they try it again. The 1-2. Pumped high. Playable perhaps. It's going to go all the way back, and that one is off the wall and gone. It bounced off the top of the fence, and the first base umpire gives the sign a home run for Yosvani Penalve to make it 5-0 Kitchener. It's not easy to hit that one to dead center in this ballpark. And that is a 2-run shot for Penalve. His second home run of the season. As Cush has now given up 5 here in this inning. That one misses. Ibarra singled in the first and was later stranded. Missing outside. 2-0. Delivery again. That one's popped up. Wilson going towards it. Same with Ward. Ward gets underneath it, makes the underhand catch to end the inning. But another pair of runs, another 3 runs, I should say, come across for the Kitchener Panthers, including a 2-run home run from Yosvani Penalve. 5-0 Kitchener as we go to break. Home half of the second coming up next. Stay with us. This is Royals TV.
Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion
Welcome back to Royals TV. It is a 5-0 scoreline in favor of the Kitchener Panthers, with Ethan Hammond stepping into the batter's box here, hitting .250 on the season. And that one's going to go in for a strike. Hammond hitting .250, 6 for 24 on this young season. A 1-1 count. Hammond was in the game last night, coming in later on into the game, replacing Andy Leader in right field. There's a strike, 2-2. Hammond hit .304 a season ago, hit .341 in the playoffs. The 2-2 missing just outside, 3-2. Former second-team All-Star back in 2022. Playing in his 4th season in the IBL. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Evan Elliott gets his second swinging strikeout of the game. And that'll bring up Mark Nellis, the second baseman. That'll miss for ball 1. Nellis, one of those call-ups for the Guelph Royals. Playing for the Mississauga Tigers 22U roster, has seen a lot of time in the IBL. Chopper in the infield. Fuji over to first in time to record the out. Good hops there from Yosuke Fuji to get it over to first base. Some soft contact made. And from a guy who is just starting his IBL career to the veteran of 17 IBL seasons, Jeff McLeod, the Rockwood native, has seen a lot, including choppers like this. Fielded and unable to handle it there is Ibarra. Jeff McLeod will get on base safely. If anything, that might be an E2. Yes, indeed, it will be. As Jeff McLeod made some contact, and Junior, you don't see that every day from Junior Ibarra, usually a very stout defensive catcher, just could not get a clean handle on the baseball. Could that be the life needed to get the Royals back into it, down by 5 here in the early stages of this one? Holding off on the bunt, but that's going to go and pick the outside of the black for a strike. Ashton Patterson, 4th year in the league from Kitchener. More soft contact. That one stays in play in the infield. Over to first, and that one's going to get by the first baseman and out of play. So that'll be a double. Circling around, it went out of play. The throw went out, so they're going to give the 2 bases on the throwing error. So Patterson will go around. It's going to be an E1 for those scoring at home. McLeod over to third, Patterson over to second. And for those who haven't been here to Hastings Stadium, there isn't a fence that decides out of play. There is a dirt track going around the ballpark just in front of the dugout. On the opposite side of that track, as that one's going to go into center field. Royals are on the board with 1 and with 2. A 2-run single from J.D. Williams to get the Royals on the board. McLeod comes in. Patterson comes in. That'll bring up Brando LaRue. So again, just to finish, the track around the field, once it goes on the opposite side of it and into the grass, that is deemed out of play. So even if you're running 10 miles and make the catch near the batting cages here at Hastings Stadium, it's still out of play, doesn't count. LaRue coming in here. Puts that one up high. Playable perhaps. Towers getting underneath it, and he'll make the catch in foul territory to end the inning. But a pair of runs come across for the Royals. They're on the board. Down by 3 as we head to the 3rd inning. Stay with us. This is Royals TV. That one's going to be fouled away by Charlie Towers to begin the 3rd inning here. Mark Perry here in the broadcast booth with you. Glad to have you aboard. Latest edition of the Highway 7 rivalry. Kitchener in town as Towers will hold off, but it goes across anyway, just on the outside for a strike. Kitchener opening up a 5-0 lead through 2 innings of work. Guelph answering back in the last inning with a pair of runs. Towers puts that one into the outfield. Patterson, though, comes around to play it, and he'll make the catch. Again, these two teams will battle again tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock first pitch at Jack Couch Park. Myself and Ian Jodry will have the call on that one, so if you're enjoying what I'm doing here this afternoon, guess what? You get me twice this weekend. Fouled back by Jamie Cabral. Walked, stole a base, and was later stranded in the 1st. Cabral, as mentioned before, played for the Maple Leafs last year. Now went into the dirt. Just 23 years of age, or rather 22. He will be 23 on August 22nd. Good movement there on the baseball, Jacob Cush. as he fools Cabral on that one. Cush to the delivery. Puts that high, does Cabral. Playable in center field, though. Or rather, at shortstop. And Brando LaRue will make the catch. JD was signaling for it in center field. Fooled us here in the booth. But LaRue had that one all the way. It's exactly what the doctor ordered if you're Jacob Cush. That one across for a strike. Needed 49 pitches to get through the first 2 innings. And at least through the first 2 batters, chopper down the line, foul. At least through the first 2 batters, needs to make some quick work of the Kitchener Panthers here. The 0-2. Deep into center field. In right center, I should say. JD comes over to make the catch. A trio of flyouts. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jacob Cush. To the bottom half of the inning we go. It is Kitchener 5, Guelph 2. This is Royals TV. Welcome back. Here on Royals TV, Kitchener 5, Guelph 2, as Garrett Takamatsu will step in here for the Guelph Royals to start the home half of the third. Chopper to Mandalay. Over to first, scoop in time. 1 pitch, 1 out for Evan Elliott, who's up to 32 pitches. Here in this one, as his pitch count working about 14 to 16 pitches here so far per inning. And for Evan Elliott, former 15th round pick of the Texas Rangers back in 2021, spent 3 years with their Arizona Complex League affiliate. Spent last summer at the Florida Complex League for the Toronto Blue Jays. 0-1 count here on the former Panther, Liam Wilson. Missing outside. Now, Elliott, as mentioned, has made 2 previous starts. He started last Saturday in that big 20-5 victory over the Brantford Red Sox. And I know what you're thinking. Kitchener needs to start playing more on Saturdays. So it seems like they're doing a lot of damage on Saturdays. Went 4 innings in that one, gave up the 4 runs off of 3 hits. But when your offense is putting up 14 runs an inning, makes things a little easier as Wilson puts that one into left field. Base hit here for Liam as he extends his hitting streak. Make it 5 straight games with a hit for Liam Wilson as he continues to heat up in the month of June. And that'll bring up Matthew Ward. Flew out to the right fielder in the first. Inside as Matthew steps just slightly away for ball number 1. Right at the knees for a strike. As Ward holds off on it. Spent 4 years at Niagara University, 3 of them as a starter. Now there has been word about Royals players to come this season, as that one's put out of play. Franklin Torres possibly an option. Later on this year, there's also been talk of possibly Claudio Custodio making a return to the Royal City later on this year. But again, it's all just speculation at this point. So you never know how long their seasons can go, and minds can change. As Ward will put that one off the grandstand. In the IBL, really, the only certainty is the uncertainty that a baseball season can provide. So when it comes to lineups and players on rosters, the best advice is keep it locked on the transactions pages and believe somebody's playing when you actually see them on the field. The 1-2, missing inside. The 2-2 counts. Elliott checks over to first. The 2-2. And that one's going to go right off the foot of Ward as he fouls that one away. Off the bat, off the foot, into the infield, and we'll try again with the 2-2. Royals, as mentioned before, on a 2-game losing skid. Losing 14-11 last night. Losing 4-2 here at home on Tuesday night. So we'll try again with this 2-2 count, one away, with Liam Wilson on first. Ibarra setting up outside. The delivery puts that one into center field. Does it drop? Yes, it will. Right in front of the warning track it goes. Sending it over into the infield was Penalve, but easily getting in over to third base is Liam Wilson, and that'll put runners at second and third. A good steady at bat for Matthew Ward, and he'll get on base with the double. And just like that, the tying run comes to the dish in Ethan Hammond. struck out in the second inning. We'll see what Ethan can do here with a 5-2 score here in the home half of the third. The 1-0, swing and a miss. Again, Hammond, as we've talked about before, 0 for 1 coming in late in the ball game against Toronto, was 0 for 4 on Tuesday against Chatham-Kent. That one hits the paint for strike number 2. Before Tuesday, Hammond actually had a good roll going for him. He was 6 for his previous 11. That one's going to go down into foul territory. It'll drop as Fuji tried to give that one a chase. So again, struggled his first 2 games, did Hammond, going 0 for 7, or going 0 for 8. And then that run going 6 for 11 between the 24th and the 31st. Would like to get back on the board here in this one, as that one gets fouled off. Looking for that working man's at bat is Hammond. The delivery, chopper right into the glove of Elliott. Throw over to first in time. They'll keep the 2 runners on board, and a much needed second out for the Kitchener Panthers, as Hammond gets taken down on the 1-3 putout. So Takamatsu grounds out to begin the inning. Wilson and Ward with a couple of hits back-to-back. And as it looked like Elliott was starting to run into a bit of trouble, is able to glove the comebacker from Ethan Hammond. Mark Nellis 0 for 1 here today. That one's in for a strike. Nellis, in his 4th game of the year, batting .500 on the season, sends that one right to the batting cages here at Hastings Stadium. Going 4 for 8. In his 3 outings, was 2 for 3 against London on the 31st in that 5-0 victory. 2 for 5 in the last 2 games combined. Elliott waiting here, looking for that extra sign. Here's the payoff. Missing just on the outside edge. Elliott wanted that one, but he didn't get it. Ibarra framed it up, trying to pull that one into the strike zone. But Ryan Herron says, try again, partner. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, he got him. 3rd strikeout of the day for Evan Elliott. 3rd swinging strikeout of the day at that. It remains 5-2 Kitchener as we head to the 4th. Stay with us. This is Royals TV. Welcome back to the top of the fourth we go as the Kitchener Panthers lead the Guelph Royals by a score of 5-2. 5-2. Mark Perry here in the booth with you. Glad to have you with us. Arthur Kawara, Ayad Ansari, Yosuke Fuji due up here in the top half of the fourth. Kawara puts that one well out of play in behind the grandstands. Kawara 0 for 1 here today. Playing in this ballpark in the IBL for the first time as a visitor. Chopper, that one's going to go off the bat, off the glove. As Jacob Cush puts himself over the 60 mark in terms of pitches here today. The 0-2 holds off on the pitch, did not go around as the appeal over to first. Chris Marco says, no, all clean. One thing to note as Cush gets into the windup here, holds off, but it goes across for a strikeout. Cush with his second punch out of the afternoon. Cush had his pitch count go up quite a bit in the first 2 innings. 24 pitches to get out of the first. Needed another 25 to get out of the second. Just 10 pitches in the third, so that pitch count going way down. A much needed 1-2-3 inning in the third. And he is retired 5 straight. Last hit was the home run from Penalve. Since then, it's been a quartet of flyouts and then that last punch out of Arthur Kawara. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Sari goes down on 3 straight from Jacob Cush. And it looks like Jacob's starting to get a little bit more of a feel for the 1 through 9 for the Kitchener Panthers. But here comes the always dangerous Yosuke Fuji. A home run and a double here today. Holds off, misses. It's the count at 2-0. Upstairs, 3-0. Cush having some trouble with the strikes on the last 3 pitches. The delivery in for a strike right at the knees as Fuji looked like he was about to go around. The 3-1 swing, and he got a piece of it just to stay alive. Again, chime in on that chat. Let us know where you're watching the game from here today, as well as who you might be cheering for in today's contest. Love to hear from you, no matter where you are here today. The wind-up, the 3-2. Fuji fouls it back. Continuing to battle. Another 3-2. Swing and a miss, he got him. Jacob Cush strikes out the side. To the home half of the fourth we go. Here at Hastings Stadium, it is Kitchener 5, Guelph 2. This is Royals TV. Welcome back to Hastings Stadium. This is Royals TV as Jeff McLeod, the veteran, starts things off for the Guelph Royals, and that'll be strike one. The 8-9-1 hitters due up here for the Guelph Royals in the fourth. Evan Elliott, 54 pitches in. That was number 55. Swings and fouls that one off. 35 of those 54 pitches from Elliott coming into this inning have gone for strikes. The 0-2, swing and a miss, got him. And they'll just finish off the out, the throw over to first. Quickly, one down. And for Evan Elliott, that is strikeout number 4 on the day. Here comes Ashton Patterson. Reached on an error back in the second. Later came around to score on that 2-run single from J.D. Williams. That one misses outside, 1-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 as Elliott starting to find that strike zone a little bit more and fooling batters. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A very quick at-bat. As you can tell there from Evan Elliott, picking up the pace. I think that was maybe 12, 15 seconds at most in between pitches. So look for that pace as this game continues. We'll see if he can keep up that pace. As Elliott mentioned before, just his third game of the season. Went 4 innings in that game against Brantford last Saturday. Went 5 innings in the 8-6 loss at home to London. The 2-0 to JD. JD flares that one into right field. And sorry, can't get to it as that one's going to get all the way to the wall. JD circling and into second base, standing up. His second hit of the day. A 2-out double for the leadoff man, J.D. Williams. And Guelph has a bit of life here in the fourth. And here comes Brando LaRue. 0 for 2 here today. Reached on a fielder's choice, I should say, in the first. Flew out in the second. First pitch he sees, puts that one into the outfield, but playable for Ansari. He'll make the catch. So JD's double goes for naught as the Guelph Royals trail this one by 3 heading into the 5th. Stay with us. This is Royals TV. Welcome back. Welcome back to Royals TV. And Jordan Mandalay will start things off here for the Kitchener Panthers to begin the 5th inning. 14 pitches needed for Jacob Cush in the last inning. That one handled nicely by LaRue, but over to first, not in time as Mandalay beats out the throw. LaRue, actually, it does look like he may have bobbled it for just a second there, and that gave just enough time for Mandalay to get across. But he went down the line so quickly, I don't know if even if LaRue got that fully cleanly at the edge of the grass, that he would have gotten over in time. So Mandalay gets on to lead things off here for the Panthers. That'll bring up Yasvani Penalve, who hit a home run his last time up. 5-2 is the score. That one misses on the outside edge. Penalve puts that one into the no man's land, into shallow left field for a base hit. Puts that one in the perfect spot. And Penalve is 2 for 3 in the afternoon.
The catcher, number 48, Junior Ibarra.
So here comes Junior Ibarra, who is 1 for 2 today. Hit a single in the first, popped one back to the catcher his last time up. That one into the dirt. Good job by Ward to block that ball. Or else that would have been a easy advancement for both Mandalay and Penalve. 2 of the 5 import players on this Panthers roster. Holds off. Peel over to first. Says no dice. A 2-0 count on Junior, who does not count toward the import complement for the Kitchener Panthers. As he has been in years past. Trying to bring his family here to Canada. I know his family's probably watching from his native Cuba here today. Recent article from Carlos Verde talks about Junior playing here in Canada, looking to bring his family up here and having the hope and dream of one day having his 2 kids in an IBL ballpark near you watching their dad play. Junior puts that one into center field. It's got some distance, but not enough. And J.D. Williams will get underneath it to make the catch, and sliding into third safely is Jordan Mandalay. So at the very least, Junior advances the 1 runner, and that puts runners on the corners here for Charlie Towers.
Second baseman, number 7, Charlie Towers.
Charlie 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly out. As we've talked about before, this is the Guelph half of a home and home between these 2 teams. They'll meet again in Kitchener tomorrow. It's a 2 o'clock first pitch. You can buy your tickets now on the Kitchener Panthers website, or you can pay at the gates. As they just do the quick check over to second base. And now here comes Dino to have a word with Danny and Newell. And this all goes back to that fly out from Junior. So what they're doing here is to ensure that Mandalay had his foot on the bag when the catch is made. If he's already off on the catch, that throw over to second base would put Mandalay out. So just a quick check just to make sure. The runner's going to go, swing and a miss, and into second base. That one's going to go off the glove. This will allow the trot into home, and the Panthers have another run on the board to make it 6-2. As we'll see what it is called officially. I believe, if anything, that might be a stolen base for Penalve, and then Jordan Mandalay advances on the error. Towers puts that one out of play. So indeed, that's exactly what it is. So a stolen base for Penalve. Mandalay gets home, and it'll be an E2 as the throw from Ward didn't get into second base cleanly. And with all the mishap there, that gave enough time for Mandalay to trot into home. So 6-2 scoreline now for the Kitchener Panthers here in the fifth. Chopper, Nellis, and that one goes off the dirt. A weird hop. That'll allow Towers to get into first safely. And that was just a weird, fortuitous bounce for the Kitchener Panthers in that occasion, as Towers,
Left fielder number 2, Jamie.
a two-hopper right towards second, and it just took a weird bounce off of something out there in the infield, and it got away from Nellis because of it. So runners on the corners here for Jamie Cabral. Kitchener with a 6-2 lead. Runner's going to go. Throw over to third, not in time, and that will allow Towers to get into second base cleanly. Ward with a bit of a stutter step there. Sees Towers going towards second, but he's coming in with so much speed. Doesn't think he's going to get him, so trying to catch Penalve flat-footed over at third. The 1-0. Cabral right into the glove, over to first in time. Throw into home, and they get the double play. Could that be the spark? A great defensive effort by the Guelph Royals. Takamatsu to Wilson to Ward make that one a 5-2, a 5-3-2 inning-ending double play for the Guelph Royals. But the Panthers get one across. It's 6-2 heading to break. Stay with us. Home half of the fifth coming up next here on Royals TV. Welcome back to Royals TV. Mark Perry here in the broadcast booth yet again as it's a 6-2 scoreline. A big-time double play for the Guelph Royals to finish off the last inning. Evan Elliott still on the bump. 65 pitches in. That was number 66. Garrett Takamatsu 0 for 2 today. And Takamatsu takes that one up high. Playable for Cabral. He'll get underneath it to make the catch. So following tomorrow's game in Kitchener, the Guelph Royals off for just 48 hours. They'll be back home on Tuesday night with the league-leading Welland Jackfish in town. Of course, the Jackfish in action against London this evening. A perfect 7-0 on the season. They have been a juggernaut yet again. The Fish, 58 runs scored, just 13 against in those 7 games in 2025. Wilson turns on the first pitch and down the line, foul. No action in either bullpen as Evan Elliott and Jacob Cush start to settle in a little bit more here. Wilson down the line, to Hopper to Fuji, over to first in time. 2 away here in the bottom half of the 5th, and that'll bring up Matthew Ward, who doubled his last time up.
Your catcher, number 10, Matthew Ward.
Beautiful sunny day here. Got a good crowd, a number of Panthers fans also making the trek down Highway 7. Elliott, the delivery. Clips the black for a strike. Again, both pitchers really settling in as this game has gone along. Ibarra blocking that one in front of him. Last couple of innings, just 11 pitches needed in the 4th for Evan Elliott. That one gets over to the shortstop, Mandalay, over to first in time, and that'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Evan Elliott. To the 6th we go here at Hastings Stadium. Kitchener 6, Guelph 2. Stay with us. This is Royals TV. Welcome back to Royals TV. To the bottom half of, well, to the top of the sixth we go. 86 pitches in for Jacob Cush. And he'll face the bottom of the order here for the Kitchener Panthers. Nico drops a bunt down the third base line. Barehanded throw over to first in time. Great job by Garrett Takamatsu as he got to the edge of the grass, got right in there and just bare hands it over to Liam Wilson. Nico trying to catch the third baseman flat-footed, but Garrett's got enough speed to get up the line and get that ball. Arthur Kawara 0 for 2 today. Ayad Ansari is due up after him. There's strike one here on the former Royal. And Kawara, he has a lot of power in that bat. Season opener against Toronto. Kawara hit the game-winning home run in the 8th. The 0-2. Chopper. Well foul. That one gets back over to the Royals dugout. Dino content to let his ace continue on here as that pitch count has gotten lower and lower as the game has gone along, inning to inning. After getting up to 49 pitches through 2, has needed just as many to get through the last 3. Needed 10 to get through the 3rd, needed 14 to get through the 4th, needed 13 to get through the 5th. And that's kind of your sweet spot if you're a pitcher. You'd like, again, to stay in that dozen to around 15, 16 pitches. If you get over 20, you're finding yourself to get into a bit of trouble, especially if you want to go 6, 7, 8 innings. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Cush with his 5th strikeout of the afternoon. And if I look at my scorebook, I believe that is the 4th swinging strikeout. So it's not a matter of whether something is a ball or a strike. He is getting guys to swing. And Sari was one of those swinging strikeout victims. Came back in the 4th. He takes for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on the newcomer. Right across for a strike. No doubt about that one. That one just around belt level on Ansari. Cush, the payoff. Holds off. Good job by Ansari to keep an eye on that one. Looked like he was going to go for it, but did not go around. Cush settles in. Upstairs, full count. Again, if you love this IBL action, there are more games happening later on this evening. London at Welland at 6 p.m. Toronto at Chatham-Kent at 7 on Fergie Jenkins night. That one's put up high in the infield. Cush gets underneath it to make the grab. A 1-2-3 inning for Jacob Cush as we head to the home half of the inning. Stay with us. A 4-run deficit for the Guelph Royals. Looking to answer back. Stay with us. This is Royals TV.
Hardline drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
I don't know. I kind of like it. It's time for a revolution.
The Rev 1X by Rollins.
Welcome back inside David E. Hastings Stadium here in beautiful Guelph, Ontario, as we head to the bottom of the sixth here on Royals TV. Glad to have you aboard for this latest edition of the Highway 7 rivalry, Kitchener and Guelph. Mark Perry here in the booth here at Hastings. Hammond, Nellis, and McLeod due up on Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame weekend here in southwestern Ontario, as that will go in for a strike. Hammond is 0 for 2 today. Right at the knees for a strike. 72 pitches for Evan Elliott to get through the first 5 innings of work. And that one just missing down low. Junior tried to bring that one above the knees, but just couldn't get the call on that one. Squibber over to Mandalay, fields it over to first in time to record the outs. Mandalay has been sharp over at short, I should say. Should mention, too, that for Evan Elliott, he had a very quick inning in the 5th, needing just 7 pitches to get out of a jam. A pair of 5-3 ground outs and a fly out to the left fielder, I should say. By contrast, I'll let you know that Jacob Cush is up to 100 pitches on the afternoon. Swing and a miss. Got a piece of it. There is a bit of movement in the bullpen for the Royals. Down low. And you have to wonder, 5 pitchers used in last night's game in Toronto for the Royals. The 1-2. Put into right field, possibly playable. It's going to get over the head of Ansari. Second base reached for Mark Nellis. A 1-out double for the second baseman. As that ball carries into right field, this will bring up Jeff McLeod. Was one of 2 runners to cross the dish in the second inning. J.D. Williams' 2-run single in the second. The only runs across here for the Guelph Royals this afternoon. They would love to add to that here. Elliott gets set, check over to second base a couple of times. Chopper by McLeod down the line, foul. So when you look at the game last night, Brandon Deans started for the Royals. Jeff Liu went after him for 2 1/3 innings work. Connor King, Gaku Ueda, and then Edgar Garcia also getting in some action last night. Infield in on the hands. Fielded by Kawara. He'll just say, I'm going to take this myself, and gets over to first base in time. That'll advance Nellis over to third. McLeod is retired on the 3 unassisted.
Your left fielder, number 50, Ashton Patterson.
So I can't get a good look out in left field to see who is warming up for the Royals, but as mentioned before, 6 innings of work for Jacob Cush. Could we see him for one more? Down low for ball 1 here on Ashton Patterson. Patterson chopper. That one's fouled. So it looks like it's Nelson Mercado that is warming up for the Royals. We'll have to see if he starts the next inning or if Jacob comes out yet again. The 1-1. That one is going to get over to the shortstop. Mandalay can't make the throw, and the Royals get a runner across to make it 6-3. Ashton Patterson with the RBI single. And here comes J.D. Williams, a single and a double here this afternoon. Has reached base every time he has been up. He was hit by a pitch back in the first. J.D. looking to close the gap even more. Puts that one high, playable in right field, and Sorry getting underneath it, looking for it, and he can't make the catch. It goes off the glove. Coming in to score is Ashton Patterson. That'll be an error charged to Ansari, and the Royals get another run across. J.D. Williams gets into second base. So J.D. Williams has reached base all 4 times he has been up here today. And here comes Brando LaRue. Fouled away by LaRue. Some movement starting in the Panthers' pen. 6-4 is the score. The Royals have added 2 here in the 6th. Patterson, or rather LaRue, has flown out twice here today. Liner over to second base, over to first in time, and that will retire the side. But a pair of runs coming to score. It's 6-4. Kitchener leading Guelph. Stay with us with the 7th inning coming up next. This is Royals TV. Welcome back to Royals TV. We are live at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. New pitcher coming into the ball game, taking over for Jacob Cush, is Nelson Mercado. Last time out was against Chatham Kent on Tuesday. Went 2 innings in that one. Didn't give up a run, gave up 2 hits, struck out 3 in 8 batters faced. As Jacob Cush comes out of the ball game, 100 pitches in, right on the century mark. 63 of those pitches going for strikes here for the Royals ace. Yosuke Fuji will start things off for the Panthers. Chopper off the foot. And it rolls right down the line. It still stayed fair, but again, that's a foul ball as it went off the batter's foot. Fuji with a home run and a double in today's game, struck out swinging in the 4th. So again, that final line on Jacob Cush, 6 innings of work, gave up 7 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, walked 3 batters, struck out 5, faced 27 batters on the afternoon. Missing outside. Puts the count at 1-1. Swing and a miss. Swung a bit early on that one as it looked like Mercado changed up the speed a bit. We'll try again. The 1-2 foul back. Mercado, former Guelph Silver Creek. Looking to get Fuji out. The 1-2 missing. And the umpire hearing it from the Hastings faithful here. So he'll try again. The 2-2. That one paints the black for a strike, and that is a strikeout to start things off for Nelson Mercado.
Shortstop number 20, Jordan Mandalay.
And that'll bring up Jordan Mandalay, the shortstop, who has crossed the plate twice here today. He is 1 for 2 with a walk. Over to Takamatsu, fields it cleanly, over to first, in time to record the out. Some soft contact generated there from Mercado. And Takamatsu fields it very cleanly, saw that one all the way. And Yasvani Penalve will start again with a single and a home run in today's game. Penalve, one of the better hitters in the IBL this season. Down low. And it's much needed for a Kitchener Panthers side after a few years of having Raul Gonzalez. And Gonzalez was a masher for this team for the last few seasons, including runner-up for IBL MVP one year. That one misses outside. So without Gonzalez, you try to look for where those hits are going to come from. You're going to get your hits from Nick Parsons. You're going to get your contributions from Junior Ibarra, both on offense and defense, but you needed that guy that can really get that average up, and Penalve has fit the bill so far for Kitchener. Chopper right over to Nellis. Gets over to first in time. That's a 1-2-3 inning. It is stretch time here at Hastings Stadium. The Kitchener Panthers leading by 2. It's 6-4 as we go to break. Stay with us, stretch out, and come on back. This is Royals TV. Welcome back to Royals TV as we head to the bottom half of the 7th. New pitcher coming into the ball game, and it is the former Royal, Danny Garcia. Garcia is part of that trade for Andy Leader almost a year ago. Garcia and Jorge De La Cruz going to the Kitchener Panthers, with Andy Leader coming here to the Royal City. Couple of defensive changes as well for Kitchener coming into this inning, as Trent Lawson will move into right field for Ansari, and then Arthur Kawara comes out at first. Nick Parsons will get on over to first base. So once again, your alignment on the infield is Fuji, Mandalay, Towers, and Parsons, and Lawson replacing Ansari out in right field, with Cabral and Penalve working left and center field respectively. Garcia, in his 4th appearance on the season, has a perfect ERA, has 6 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings worked. Mandalay over to first in time, and that'll retire Garrett Takamatsu, who is 0 for 4. For Evan Elliott, 28 batters faced here today, 6 innings of work, gave up 4 runs, just 1 of them earned. That came on that error back in the 6th. In fact, McLeod and Patterson both reached on an error back in the 2nd inning, and the Royals cashed in. So just the 1 earned run against Evan Elliott today. He struck out 5 and walked 1. Liam Wilson, 1 for 2. A single and a ground out. Walked back in the 1st inning. Danny Garcia winds in the infield. Grabbed there by Fuji. Over to first in time to retire the former Panther. In fact, as we said before, the trade for Andy Leader coming a year ago. It was on June 19th of last year when that trade was finalized. Leader had a triple in his Royals debut, and in the playoffs was a big contributor. Most notably, in Game 5 of the semifinal against Welland, hitting that home run that turned out to be the game winner to put the Royals into the final. That one's going to go across for a strike. This is Matthew Ward, who was 1 for 3. Hit a double back in the 3rd. Garcia delivers, just missing on the outside. Ibarra trying to pull that one in, but didn't mask it too well there. The 2-1. Missing downstairs. Garcia will try again, the 3-1. That one's going to get into right center field for Matthew Ward, who's got a pair of hits here today. A 2-out single. This will set up Ethan Hammond. And Hammond would love to try to mash the baseball here. 0 for 3, including a swinging strikeout back in the 2nd. Missing outside for ball number 1. As mentioned before, hit .304 last season. hit 300 in 2023. He has been a consistent hitter for this Royals team all throughout his IBL career. That one paints the black for a strike. You go back to even 2019, he hit 283. That is his career low for a season. Hit 345 in 2022, 300 in 2023, and as mentioned, 304 a season ago. So don't expect that 250 to stay around too long for Ethan Hammond, as he is known for putting the baseball in play more often than not and getting the hits when he can take them. Garcia delivers the 1-2. Hammond puts that one into the outfield. Does it drop into the Bermuda Triangle? What a catch! Jordan Mandalay. No, he dropped it. It looked like he made a phenomenal catch, but Jordan Mandalay just could not hold on to the baseball, and the Royals still have some life here in the 7th.
Your second baseman, number 9.
What an attempt there from Jordan Mandalay, but he just could not hold on to the baseball, and the go-ahead run comes to the dish in Mark Nellis. If he makes that catch, folks, that is one of the best catches you'll see in this league. But that's a pair of singles for the Guelph Royals here in the 7th with 2 away. Nellis doubled and scored in the last inning. And that'll go across for a strike. Danny Garcia really taking his time here on the mound, as he and Junior Ibarra communicate through these signs, trying to figure out how to attack this Guelph Royals lineup. The 0-1 flared out of play. Jeff McLeod is on deck. Nellis would like to get him in to this inning and try to circle the wagons to make this a closer game. 6-4 Kitchener. Here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. A pair of runners stranded for the Royals as we head to the 8th. Kitchener 6, Guelph 4. Stay with us. This is Royals TV. Welcome back to Hastings Stadium for Royals TV. Mark Perry here with you, taking you through this afternoon's festivities. The Kitchener Panthers with a 6-4 lead on the Guelph Royals. Junior Ibarra, Charlie Towers, and Jamie Cabral due up here for the Panthers in the 8th. Already some changes at the bottom of the order with some defensive changes, as that one's going to get past the glove, off of the glove. And Junior gets in safely over at first, as Garrett Takamatsu just could not field that one. So it'll be an error charged to Garrett. It's one of the benefits of having the official scorekeeper right next to me within earshot. I can give you exactly what the call is, whether it's a hit or an error. Here comes Charlie Towers. Squares up to bunt, holds off. That one misses for ball number 1. Charlie is 1 for 3. Hit a single his last time up in the 5th. Mercado. Garrett in the grass. Squares up the bunt. That one over the glove of Wilson. Down into right field, and Junior will advance to second on the throwing error. So already a pair of errors here for the Guelph Royals in the 8th inning. So an E5 to allow Ibarra to get on base. It's an E2 that advances him to second. Towers puts that one out of play. The errors continue to pile up here for the Kitchener Panthers and the Guelph Royals. It's a matter of what do you do with those miscues on defense. That has been the tale of this game. When you look at the scorebook, even on the Guelph side of things, especially in the second, as there is a strike on Towers. Back in that second inning, a pair of errors allowed McLeod and Patterson to get on. They both came in to score. JD reached on an error. That allowed for a runner to come across. Towers puts that one down the line. Does it have enough? Over, out of play, as Ashton Patterson went a long way to get to that baseball. But even with the errors, there have been some no-doubters here in this game, as Yosuke Fuji hit a home run back in the first. Yusvani Penalve got a 2-run shot in the second. That made it 5-0 at that point. It's a lot closer now. 3-2 to Towers. Missing on the outside edge, and that's ball 4. And that will allow Jamie Cabral to step in.
Left fielder number 2, Jamie Cabral.
And Cabral is 0 for 2. His last time up was that inning-ending double play in the 5th. And Dino's going to come in and have a word with his infield and his pitcher. Didn't really look like much happening in the pen for Guelph. As if anything, this just looks to be a conversation to see how they want to attack Jamie Cabral. Alberto Gonzalez, the third base coach for Kitchener, having a word with Ibarra. In the meantime, And Kitchener's been quite aggressive on the base path today. So that'll be something of note. I'd imagine that was part of the conversation on the mound. As Cabral squaring up to bunt, tries to drop it down, but just unable to make contact with the baseball. Nobody out here in the 8th. Liam Wilson playing more into the grass. Takamatsu at the edge of the grass. Cabral trying to drop down a bunt, and he misses again. And you can see the aggressiveness of the Royals infield. Again, Liam will actually go back out now that Cabral's back in that traditional swinging stance. But he goes to square up to bunt. Throw over to third in time. They'll get the lead runner. Good awareness there from Mercado to get the out over at third. So Jamie Cabral will reach on a fielder's choice, and Charlie Towers will advance to second.
Hitter number 8, Nico Kairos.
So here comes Nico Kairos. Kitchener would love to get him on board and only have the one out with Nick Parsons due up for Kitchener. The 0-1 incoming for Nico. Swing and a miss. And the runners will have to trot back. It looked like for a moment that both Towers and Cabral were thinking about going to the next bag, but good job by Ward to settle the baseball down. Kairos will call for time. He's 0 for 3 today. Pair of groundouts and a flyout. Mercado settles in. That one misses. Inside and down, according to the home plate umpire. Fans getting restless here at Hastings. Upstairs, 2-2. With runners on first and second base, Cabral is on first, Towers is on second. Both of them have some speed. And it's a 2-run lead for Kitchener. The 2-2. That one goes off the glove and throw over to third, not in time as Garrett Takamatsu drops the baseball. Both runners advance. And something came out. I don't know, for some reason it looks almost like a mouthpiece-shaped object. Might have been a part of the glove of Ward, as when the baseball made contact with the glove, something came flying off of Ward's hand, lost control of the baseball, and that puts the runners to second and third. The 3-2, down low, ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Nick Parsons. And this is a big bat that you do not want up if you're the Guelph Royals. Although this season just hitting .238, he's 5 for 21, just the one home run on the ledger this year. But keep in mind, 9 homers a season ago. Was one of the best hitters in the IBL last year. And that was well inside. Gets away from Ward, and 1 run will come across. Tower scores on the wild pitch to make it 7-4. Everybody advances. Cabral goes over to third, Kairos to second. They'll try again on Parsons. Do they go a bit more outside? Yes, they do, and that'll go in for a strike. As that one picked the bottom corner. Mercado came in for Cush, who went 6 innings. Ward setting up outside yet again. The 1-1. Inside it goes, and it's a 2-1 count. Parsons, the St. Jacobs native, graduate of the University of St. Francis. Just graduated this past spring as he plays in a full season here in Kitchener. Rather, I should say he graduated last spring. Hit 19 home runs in his senior year at St. Francis U. Former Laurier Golden Hawk. Here comes the 2-2. And let me tell you, yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. That entire time, they are not even paying attention to Kairos over at second. He is basically behind the shortstop. You can see him trotting over there on your screen, just in behind the shortstop, because nobody is covering second base whatsoever. They are more worried about the batter, Parsons. Infield on the grass. That one into the dirt. Ward blocks it. But that will allow Parsons. So the bases are loaded here yet again.
Pitch hitting number 4, Trent Lawson.
So here comes Trent Lawson. It is a walk for Parsons. And Trent Lawson will come in with the bases loaded. 7-4 lead, and there is a strike. Lawson also one of the better hitters in the IBL this season. Hitting .360 on the year. Well inside, 1-1. Was 0 for 4 last night in Hamilton. 1 for 4 against Barrie on the first, as that one's fouled back. So again, Parsons advanced on the walk. Had my eyes on the notes as that pitch was delivered, but it is indeed a walk. So back-to-back walks issued by Mercado. The 1-2 to Lawson. Swing and a miss, he got him. A much-needed second out of the inning. And here comes Yosuke Fuji. What does Yosuke Fuji have in store against Mercado with the bases loaded. That one just missing at the knees for ball one. Fuji has struck out his last 2 times up. Right at the knees again, but just above and in the black for a strike. Mercado settling in, checks over to second. The 1-1, swing and a miss. One strike away from getting out of it. Can he do it? The 1-2, down and away. As they will try it again. The payoff, the 2-2. Swing and a miss, he got him. No siree, he got a piece of it. The home plate umpire says he's still alive. So we will try again. One more time for good measure. The 2-2, that one's lined into right field. 1 run comes in to score. 2 runs trotting around. Make it 9-4 Kitchener on a 2-run single from Yosuke Fuji. He has been red hot for this Kitchener Panthers team.
Shortstop number 20, Jordan Mandalay.
So Parsons advances to third. And it's a 3 spot on the board here in the 8th for the visitors. The runner's going to go. Throw into second base and safe. Fuji. With a stolen base here on this one. Jordan Mandalay has a single, has crossed the plate twice. 9-4 Kitchener. Puts that one into left field. Does it have enough? No, it will go foul. It had the distance to drop in front of Patterson, but it was about a foot on the other side of the line. So we will try once again. Mercado with a runner on second and third. Down the line yet again. Third base coach getting just out of the way. And Gonzalez just signaling to Mandalay, hey, other side of the line, friend. Other side of the line. Keep that one fair. Almost looked like an air traffic controller with the way he was directing traffic there. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Jordan Mandalay. Has grounded out twice here today. The payoff. Into the dirt, 2-2. With runners on base, Kitchener hitting .305 with runners in scoring position and 2 away. They're hitting .258. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. For sure this time. But 3 runs come across for the Kitchener Panthers. It is a 9-4 lead heading to the bottom of the 8th. The Royals have some work to do, down by 5. Stay with us. This is Royals TV. Welcome back to Royals TV, bottom of the 8th. Here from Hastings Stadium. First pitch turned on by Jeff McLeod is high and deep into center field, and about 3 feet in front of the warning track is Yasvani Penalve making the catch. So that'll retire Jeff McLeod on the F8.
Your left fielder, number 50, Ashton Patterson.
And here comes Ashton Patterson. The Royals have left men on base in 6 of the 7 innings so far this afternoon. The only time they did not was a 1-2-3 inning back in the 5th. They left 2 on board in the 7th, with a pair of 2-out singles from Matthew Ward and Ethan Hammond, but Danny Garcia was up to the task to get the swinging strikeout on Mark Nellis. Inside, 2-0 here on Patterson. Reached on an error in the 2nd and came in to score. Swinging strikeout in the 4th. Singled and scored in the 6th. Well inside, but catches a bit of the black for a strike. Danny Garcia taking over for Evan Elliott, who went 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, 1 of them earned, 5 strikeouts. That one paints a bit for a strike. Garcia, in his 4th year in the league, started last season with the Royals before that Andy Leader trade, played 2 seasons with the Brantford Red Sox in 2022 and 2023. Inside, strike 3. As Ashton Patterson threw the bat away, thinking for sure that he was getting the free pass to first. But Ryan Herron says that's a punch out for out number 2 here in the 8th.
Number 8, J.D. Williams.
J.D. Williams with 2 away. Has had a productive day, hasn't come around to score, but has reached base on all 4 of his plate appearances. Knocked over to Mandalay, fields it over to first in time, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for the Kitchener Panthers. We head to the 9th. A 9-4 lead for the Kitchener Panthers as we go to break. Stay with us. This is Royals TV. Welcome back to Royals TV. The Kitchener Panthers 9, the Guelph Royals 4. Mark Perry here in the booth with you. Well, if you like these 2 teams meeting up, you'll get to see them once again tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock first pitch in Kitchener, Jack Couch Park, the location. As Nelson Mercado takes on Yasvani Penalve. Has a home run and a single to his credit here today. The 0-1 delivered right just above the knees for a strike. Two for 4 overall is Penalve working center field today. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second swinging strikeout against Penalve here today. Kitchener quite productive the last time they were up to bat. 3 runs, taking advantage of a pair of Guelph Royals errors. And just a slight delay here, as there is some movement happening in the Kitchener Panthers pen. Junior tried to sell the ball there, but that's going to go in for a strike. Junior with a single in the first, retired his second and third at bat, reached on an error in the 8th. He led things off in the 8th inning. Puts that one up high, and out of play it goes. Fans have started to leave here at Hastings Stadium. Remember, these 2 teams meet again tomorrow. The 0-2 downstairs. A 1-2 count. As Kitchener for the second straight Saturday doing some damage with the bats. Mercado delivers. Down low. Under the knees. Junior keeping patient. It's 2-2. Tries again. 3-2. Chopper. Foul back. Full count. It remains here on Junior. Hitting .290 on the season. His third year in the IBL. The 3-2. Lines that one well foul. That was a bullet over to the foul side. Hit .281 last year, hit .270 in his rookie season in 2023. Of note, in that 2023 year, was off to a slow start, goes to play internationally for Cuba for a couple of weeks, comes back, and he was very, very hot for the Panthers in the second half of 23. That one's put into left field, and Patterson makes the catch. Charlie Towers will come in here, looking to add a bit more offense and maybe a bit more of a cushion going into the bottom of the ninth. Kitchener scoring 3 runs in both the second and the 8th. Holds off, but it goes across for a strike. It's not a save situation right now, but you might be putting in Yankiel Morris in the 9th, or you save that arm. Towers fields it to Nellis, to Wilson, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. To the bottom of the 9th we go, a 5-run deficit. Can the Royals climb back? Stay with us. This is Royals TV with the heart of the order due up for the Royals. Welcome back to Royals TV, bottom of the 9th here at David E. Hastings Stadium. The Guelph Royals down by 5. Brando LaRue, Garrett Takamatsu, and Liam Wilson due up for the Royals. They'll take on the closer for the Kitchener Panthers, Yankiel Morris. Not a safe situation for Yankiel, but coming into the game nonetheless. Yankiel in his 4th appearance on the season. That one's fouled away by Brando. Last appearance came against Barrie in that 12-4 defeat on Sunday. Didn't appear last night. And even when you go back to that game on the 1st, Yankiel had an extended layoff, didn't appear since May 18th. So in that game, it's just trying to make sure that arm stays loose. Fielded there by Fuji. Over to first, turnaround throw, and that's the first out of the inning. Yankiel was perfect in that one. 3 batters faced, 3 batters retired. Got the 1 strikeout. He's been a key piece of this Panthers roster since coming over at the transaction deadline in 2024. Takamatsu holds off, ball number 1. Tak 0 for 4 today. The 1-0, and that's in for a strike. Takamatsu hitting .407 on the season, looking to keep a 3-game hitting streak alive. That was a whiff and a half by Tak. So he looked like he was swinging, swung through anyway, but knew he wasn't going to make contact. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Delivery to the plate. It hops on Junior. It goes in behind. As they're just trying to figure out the baseballs here. One too many baseballs over for Yankiel. Just trying to get the right feel for it. Looks like he's got the right ball. And he'll deliver the 2-2. Garrett puts that one into the outfield, into right center. Lawson camps underneath it, and he'll make the catch, 2 away. As the last chance for the Royals here this afternoon comes into the batter's box, Liam Wilson. The first time he has appeared against the Kitchener Panthers since he was a member of the Hamilton Cardinals. Wilson has traveled in this league. Played for the Cardinals in 2015 and 2016. Moved over to the Panthers in 2019. Was part of that second half run. Part of that IBL Finals appearance in 2019 for Kitchener. That one missing on the outside. A 3-time first-team All-Star. Canisius College alumni. Had a 57-game on-base streak back in college at one point. The 1-1 put out of play. Wilson got the hit that he needed in this game to keep his streak alive, but would like to get on base to keep the ball rolling here in the bottom of the 9th. Yankiel looking to shut things down. Here comes the 1-2. Chopper. Mandalay will field it. Over. No, he can't make the throw. The Royals are still alive. That'll be an error against the shortstop. As Mandalay looked like he was going to field it cleanly, But as the transfer was going from glove to hand, you can see that ball pop out. And Matthew Ward will come in here for the Guelph Royals. First delivery in for a strike. Ward, a single and a double here today. He's 2 for 4. A fly out and a ground out on his ledger as well. That one paints the outside of the black for a strike. Very quickly, Morris is up in the count 0-2. The payoff here. Missing outside, kept in front. Junior keeps Wilson at first base. It's the 4th error charged to the Panthers here today. The 1-2 holds off, but that one goes across for a strike, and that's the ball game. The Kitchener Panthers snap a 2-game losing skid and take it here in Guelph by a score of 9-4. And when you look at this ledger, folks, it's a bunch of errors as you see the score line there. 9-4 the final score, both teams with 8 hits. Panthers with 4 errors, but still come out with the victory. 3 errors charged to the Royals. But home runs from Yosuke Fuji and Yosvani Penalve got the ball rolling for the Kitchener Panthers. They had a 5-0 lead to start the game. Guelph scored 2 in the second. It bounced around back and forth. The Royals closed it to within 2 runs with a pair of runs in the 6th. But Kitchener with 3 runs in the 8th. That was the dagger here at this one at Hastings Stadium. These two teams meet again at Jack Couch Park in Kitchener tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock first pitch. Myself and Ian Jodry will have the call. You can find that link on the Kitchener Panthers YouTube page, Panthers Baseball Online. But for now, the final from David E. Hastings Stadium on this Saturday afternoon. It is the Kitchener Panthers 9 and the Guelph Royals 4. My name is Mark Perry saying so long from Hastings Stadium, and I will see you here tomorrow. I will see you back online tomorrow afternoon. The next home game for the Guelph Royals is coming up on Tuesday against the Welland Jackfish. Get your tickets, and we will see you then. Stay with us for more exciting Guelph Royals baseball for weeks and months to come. Good afternoon, everybody.